Bonjour à tous d'abord, ça fonctionne. Oui. C'est très bien.
During the first hour, we were 1 second off the pace. We are very optimistic if we see only 1 second. I see 2.
Je coach Charles-Henri pour qu'il continue la vie du club et l'existence du club. Merci à Nico.
It's brand new and it's the first time we see it on the starting line of the total 24 Hours of Spa. WRT has entered 2 Audi R8 LMS 2015 in this race, and so has the Phoenix team.
The main difference between the new R8 and the old one, I would say, are the aerodynamics. You can see visually that the car looks a lot different with the bodywork shape. Basically, the new car is far more efficient. So you can see that we have a smaller rear wing, but generates the same amount of downforce. So it means that we can travel faster, but maintain the same downforce levels. Yeah, so the engine is exactly the same. There's some small differences with the mapping. The gearbox is different, it's smaller, it's lighter. It's from the same manufacturer, but again, it's a better efficient gearbox.
For the mechanics, drivers and engineers, many questions remain before these 24 hours of intense racing.
The old car had years and years of development and tuning the setup. The new car is still in its first year, so I would say at the moment it's probably slightly more difficult, but we're definitely making big steps towards improving that.
The team won here last year and has recently won the 24 Hours of Nürburgring with this car, so WRT has arrived to the Belgium track with a favourites tag and determined to add a third Spa victory to their record. But during the testing days 1 month before the race, things appeared complicated. The balance of performance set by SRO clearly does not put the R8 at an advantage. Plus, the team isn't used to the Pirelli tyres that are mandatory in the Blancpain Championship. The 24th of June trial session reveals several problems for the team that does not manage to place its cars in the top 20.
On n'est pas super vite, notamment après quelques tours, la tendance est à la dégradation assez fort. Donc c'est un petit peu une surprise, mais cela dit, développer une nouvelle voiture, ça reste toujours un vrai challenge. Et c'est les premiers tours de roue de la voiture à Spa. Et il faudra, je pense qu'on a encore beaucoup de travail. Je suis toujours inquiet, donc on aurait difficilement la matière à être serein, mais je suis quand même rassuré sur les moyens dont on dispose pour réagir par rapport à ça.
The WRT engineers have 1 month left before the 24 Hours of Spa to find a solution. All seems quiet in the workshop just a few hours before the cars head to Belgium. There are still a few details to iron out, and the cars are decorated for the occasion. The total 24 Hours of Spa is the most important race of the year for the team, so every little detail has to be perfectly thought out. For example, Jill has spent a whole week taking apart, checking and reconditioning each of the guns used to change tyres. That's 1/2 day spent on each element.
Tools are one of the key of the quickest pit stop, and we see also that people are only doing that, not working on the car but also doing on logistics, so preparing the guns, the rims. The rims have to be checked before they go into the car, so they have to be cleaned, and all parts have mileage, even all the wheel guns have some mileage parts, so this have to be prepared before, and we cannot have problems during a pit stop, so everything has to be checked.
Here we are. Spa-Francorchamps is where it all happens, the greatest GT endurance race of the world. Throughout the week, the pressure rises as we get closer to the D-Day. On Wednesday, the fans get very close to the star drivers and racing cars. The Great Parade takes place between the circuit and the centre of town. The GTs take the main road and gather in Spa, under glorious sunshine, as usual. Team leader Vincent Vos is also enjoying a little break with 2 of his sons, who may become champions themselves one day. The Audi WRT drivers are among the fans' favourites, with hundreds of admirers gathering for the autograph session. Wednesday is also when the drivers, team managers and selected journalists join the drivers' briefing, held in the beautiful dining room of Spa's casino.
First of all, I want to ask that all photographs going out of the room. We have a briefing now.
We're back on track at the end of the afternoon with Pierre Dieudonné, a former winner of the 24 Hours of Spa. Being on board of the new R8 brings back some good racing memories for the champion. Overall, 10 Audi R8s are competing at the 24 Hours of Spa, including 4 new models. In the WRT team, Riquelme, Friends and Vernet drive car number 3, while the title holders, Winkelhock, Vanthoor and Rastberg, the number 1. Meanwhile, Stippler, Ortelli and Muller drive car number 2, and a 4th car is in the running in the Pro-Am category, with Cobalt, Botteman, Schotthorst and Nash behind the steering wheel. Most WRT drivers know the track by heart, but Nico Müller is driving here for the first time.
Exit first corner, so second gear.
Second gear or is first gear allowed now?
Now first gear is allowed every time.
Is it allowed?
Yes, it is allowed, yes.
Okay.
They send a new update, so we can use the first gear every time we want. But from data from last year, it was in second gear.
Yeah,
So the family take the Swiss for a recce trip on foot at the end of the day.
3-4, and we take Rédillon in 5th, and then 6 in the straight.
on the balance, huh?
Yes, more than the balance. For now, I mean new tires and coming out like this already.
I think also one thing was that I put new tires pretty much straight away, and I did never drive a GT here. So
Yeah, then okay. anyway, maybe we can learn. Yeah, you know if it's dangerous for the tire if you come back.
Yeah.
But if you look at the black marks over there,
yeah,
it looks like anybody's going to start.
Yeah.
Because most of the rubbers.
And it helps quite a lot to open up.
Didn't take too much, no. It was just on the edge. Yeah, I pushed but I didn't react.
Radio check car 1, radio check car 1.
On Thursday, we're getting down to serious business.
3, 2, 1, 9. Okay, copy, copy.
The team has plenty of work ahead. Of course, the crew has already found several solutions, but the tyres don't perform as well as they could, and the car is not consistent enough. Lap after lap, the specialists tweak the R8s to get the settings just right. For the drivers of car number 3, an LMS Ultra from 2014, the work focuses on getting the team, Riquelme, Friends and Vernet, to work in perfect harmony.
Okay, box now, confirm, box now. Copy.
After the free practice, the WRT crew is satisfied. The cars are up for the task.
At the end, it was the most important thing to get the car in the window where it works perfectly, and this we found out. We found a good setup where the car works perfectly, and then of course you know, new tires and less fuel makes a huge difference, and lap time wise this is actually the biggest difference.
Okay, copy. Try to prepare a good gap because you were quite fast in sector 1. You were quite fast in sector 1. Prepare a good gap and try to push. Fastest box this lap, push in lap, stop this lap.
Vincent Voss's men are keeping calm. The hard work has paid off. The Audi R8 LMS of Vanthoor, Winky and Rast post the second fastest time, just 9,000ths of a second behind the BMW VDS. Car number 2 is in 6th position, and the younglings are a bit disappointed because they won't be able to take part in the Superpole race on the following day, as it's reserved to the top 20.
We've been starting with all different setup, and which helped us a lot because we were able to find the right setup, and well, the car improved a lot. I'm a bit surprised by the time, but still a long way to go. Let's see what's going on tomorrow for Superpole.
Friday is always a special day at the Total 24 Hours of Spa. The Superpole cars only ride at the end of the day. The mechanics have plenty to do, and the drivers are busy doing PR. The team also set aside some time for special moments, such as this time that Nico Muller and Stefan Ortelli spend showing a group of young cancer patients around the stand.
La course, ça commence demain. Aujourd'hui, il est à la qualif des premiers 20.
Ça, c'est le deuxième pilote.
Ah, c'est difficile à dire. Non, mais on est les 3 pilotes.
The engineers and mechanics are busy checking every single detail. Each part is cleaned thoroughly to remove grease. This simple but painstaking job helps to detect any possible weaknesses. The gearboxes are also changed, and the R8s are completely refurbished for the Super Pole and race on the following day. The Super Pole is probably the most delicate exercise of the week for the designated drivers, Frank Stippler and Lorenz van Toor. Here we go for 2 laps. Each car is alone on the track to determine the starting position on the grid the following day. Any mistake, no matter how small, can mean falling down the classification. In the box, all the team members are holding their breath. The track conditions are perfect, so the final result will be down to a fraction of a second.
Keep pushing, you have P1 of this session.
While we expected the team's sprinter Lorenz van Toor to shine, it is the wise Frank Stippler who surprises us, posting the second fastest time of the provisionary standings. On the second lap, Stippy shines again, handing the pole position to his team on a silver platter for the second year in a row.
We are very, very happy, especially the fact that Frank Stippler did it. You know, he's an old campaigner, he's always been very strong in 24 hours race, and it's very good for him that he succeeded in setting the fastest time in this exciting Super Pole.
My first idea arriving here was that Nico Müller is doing it because he's the youngest gun, I would say, and at least for whatever reason during the qualifying sessions I was slightly faster. For today it is an amazing feeling as well, because here are so many very good competitors on driver side as well. I mean, here really the best GT drivers, part-time drivers who are who just not did it into Formula One. So for today I'm proud, and tomorrow we need to start from zero again.
On Saturday, the rain is pouring on the Spa track, but the awful weather has not put off the real fans who have come to see the fight between Bentley, BMW, McLaren, Porsche, Ferrari, Nissan and of course Audi. the race is expected to be epic, with minimal gaps between the top cars. One last break for the drivers, a rainy autograph session before the very serious briefing of Dr. Ulrich.
The next point is, please, if there is anything special on the racetrack, like an accident, like oil, like if there is rain, a lot of water on special places, please give the information to your engineer and we will distribute it to the other cars. The start 2 laps will not decide where you end up in the race. Have this in mind. You can destroy and lose much more in the first 2 laps that you can gain. It didn't look too bad in qualifying. I think you had quite a good feeling with the car. Let's use the potential that we have. I hope that we can use it the whole race. And let's go for it, guys. Have fun. Have a good race.
On the starting grid, the weather isn't getting any better. Qualified in 24th position, the R8 LMS Ultra of Jean-Carl Vernet has the delicate task of starting the race in the middle of the pack in dangerous weather conditions.
Conditions are not easy. Will not be easy for the first part of the race, but not stressed. I will be more excited. I mean, it's the most important race of the season. We are waiting for this race since a few months, and this long was pretty long, with only a few tests and qualifying, and now we are all very happy to start the race.
René Rast is the first driver of the #1 car, qualified in 6th position. As usual, René seems very relaxed just a few minutes before the race begins.
Feeling pretty good at the moment. I mean, quite confident. We had a good warm-up, car felt good. I mean, now it's difficult divisions. We have a lot of wind, strong rain, some aquaplaning on the straights, so it's not easy for sure. So I only have like 4 or 5 cars ahead of me. So the visibility will not be as bad as position 20 or 30. They will have a lot of spray. For me, it's going to be okay.
In pole position, Frank Stippler has a significant advantage over his competitors for the first few laps.
I think it's better to be in front than in the fog of the rain, but yeah, it's a good basic, but not more.
The weather is so terrible that the race directors thought for a moment that they would only let the race begin after a few safety car laps. But in the end, they allowed the usual flying start.
Green flag in 25 seconds, 25 seconds. So to confirm, Manny, it's a normal race start, normal race start.
Rain is getting heavier, the circuit is getting wetter. Here they come towards the timing line for Spa. 24 hours for 2015 is go. And a very good start by Kevin S. Slow away in contrast as Frank Stippler. We get a McLaren 1-2 as they drop downhill because it is S for ahead of Alvaro Perez. And now take a big deep breath. Are they all going to get Ferrari safely on this car?
In one lap, René Rast climbs from 6th to 4th position, while Stippler remains cautious and lets 2 McLaren slip ahead. In the second lap, at the top of the famous Radion, the Audi #1 follows its sister very closely. Backstage, the WRT crew are holding their breath. Rast's attack is formidable, but Stippler does not let go. fight between the two mates is on, and it's only the third lap. René Rast takes the lead during the fourth lap.
You're now lapping as fast as the leaders. You are lapping as fast as the two leaders.
The message is loud and clear. The Audi #1 is ready for the fight, and the McLarens can fret. But soon the race directors interrupt the race and bring in the safety car.
Okay, copy, safety car, copy.
It's bad luck for Stippy, who ends up stuck behind the second safety car, while the three leaders are out in front behind the first safety car.
Losing half a lap now. The safety car went out in front of me.
For René Rast, things are swell. He is close behind the two McLarens, ready to overtake and staying focused, keeping his tyres and brakes cool. J.K. Vernet was in 24th position on the grid and 18th when the safety car came in, and now he's 16th. He maintains the right pace and seems comfortable under the rain despite this collision with the R8 LMS Ultra of the Team ISR.
They're looking for visibility, all these things the drivers have to factor in as well. There's battle for position, and there's the first casualty. Round goes 75.
There was a contact on the first lap with the other AUDI, and we thought the damage was not too big, but in reality it's quite big on the side. So as long as it's fresh and damp and wet, we are okay, but if it gets warmer, we will have cooling problems. So we will repair when we change the brake pads, and hopefully it will not get warm.
Unfortunately, things turn to the worst for car number 3.
Under virtual safety car Ferrari with the rear, and it goes full safety car shortly now.
Pas trop vite, l'auto est toute tordue, on va pas la perdre dans l'herbe, pas trop vite.
The WRT crew shows how efficient it can be in this kind of crisis.
It's really disappointing because the pace was really good. I was really comfortable, and suddenly we have like massive rain coming, and that's all. Even if I try, I think I was really careful and safe. Maybe not enough.
There's a lot of body parts to change, the nose wheel and a part of the back knee changing, and this takes time. After 35 minutes, Stefan Riquelme gets back into the race in very last position, but with a completely refurbished car.
René, you're the fastest car on track, fastest car on track.
The fastest man on track and the fastest lap overall in the total 24 hours of Spa.
René, what's your thoughts on slicks at the moment?
Kind of a dry line from 14 to 17, and now already from 7 to 8. But that's it. All the rest is still, wet.
It's a delicate moment. Another shower is in sight, so the Audi WRTs keep their rain gear on. But the BMW VDS and several other rival teams decide to switch to slick tyres.
Direction north is dark sky.
Yeah. So they say drops will be wet. Drops 10-15 minutes.
Because
how wet? I don't know.
4 laps.
I know.
So I asked for the wet tyres.
Okay, we'll change for wet tyres. We'll change for new set of wet, then you stay in the car.
But WRT made the right call. The rain comes back and the Audis are fastest, while their competitors have to ride on eggshells.
The car is undrivable in aquaplaning conditions. Nearly impossible to keep it on the track. Very sensitive on aquaplaning.
We think the rain should stop. Race update, you are P1. We're half a lap in front of everyone.
After just a few laps, Stefan Riquelme feels confident again on his rebuilt car. The rider from Monaco snatches one of the best lap times.
Your pace is good, pace is good. Keep like this.
After several safety interruptions, the light starts to fade out and the track gets drier. WRT's Audi R8 LMS are ideally placed. Stippler stays in the top 5, while Rast is fighting for the top spot. The pressure comes down a notch.
Stick the tyres and the driver, okay?
Copy.
The team switches to slick tyres at the very end of the afternoon. And towards the end of the day, the sky is getting clearer and the rain threats fade away. Stefan Riquelme continues his ride to the top. Stefan Ortelli is in 6th position and Lorenz Vantor starts the night shift in 1st position, thanks to René Rast's impressive performance at the beginning of the race.
It was not easy 3 stints. I was over 3 hours in the car. We had a lot of rain, a lot of aquaplaning, a lot of safety cars, a lot of full course yellows. It was not always easy to do the right decisions, but the team did a great job and we always made the right decision.
Yeah, hopefully the condition will be more stable, because it's really a nightmare for us to have the right tires, the right pressure in the right time. So we hope to have an easy life for the night.
The temperature is lower and the R8 does wonders with its Pirelli tyres. It maintains a fast, steady pace. The drivers show great skill and we still have 2/3 of the race to go. The Spa newbie Nico Müller takes over from his colleague in the dark, but the young Swiss driver is not afraid. He's just won the 24 Hours of Nürburgring on the new WRT R8.
Okay, launching the fastest car on track, fastest car on track.
Everything is quiet, but suddenly the voice of Lorenz Vantor breaks that silence. The race leader has bad news for the team.
Okay, is there much damage?
The R8 LMS number 1 is seriously damaged after Lorenz left the track violently. He overtook a slower driver, set 2 wheels in the wet part of the track just after a curve, and before a hard acceleration. It's hard to get away with this. It's a tough blow for Lorenz, who hadn't made this kind of mistake for a very long time. When Winkellock gets back into the game, the car number 1 has dropped from the 1st to the 43rd position.
We lost quite a lot, I think. Probably the chance for the podium is over now, but it was a heavy crash. We had to replace rear left corner complete. Some bodyworks, exhaust was complete damage. So yeah, we tried to do it as quick as possible, but of course we lost a bit of time.
2 of the 3 cars are now in the depths of the classification. All hope now rests on car number 2 and its drivers Stippler, Ortelli and Muller. Meanwhile, car number 3 is in the good hands of Robin Frenz, who climbs slowly back up the ranking. Of course, the young drivers are not trying to shine, but are not taking any risk to try and reach the top 10.
It's hard to find motivation because we are, I don't know where we are, B50 or something. We are 25 laps behind, so we can't do anything anymore. But still, I'm here to learn because it's the first time driving in the dark for me. And most of all to enjoy. I mean, I like to drive cars and I enjoyed it, so just a learning phase and drive as many laps I can do.
Possible oil on track as well. Possible oil on track in Sector 2. The car behind you is BMW.
We're not even halfway through the race, and while the VDS drivers, who were considered favourites for this edition, are reaching the top ranks, WRT's nightmare continues.
Big crash for Audi in Blanchimont.
This time, Stefan Richelmy is out with car number 3, but this exit cannot be redeemed. The chassis is bruised, the car is out.
Lawrence, you're the fastest car on track, fastest car on track.
The temperature is down to 5 degrees Celsius and the fatigue starts to kick in.
Fuel reset, Lawrence, fuel reset.
The drivers keep going and Ortelli, Stippler and Muller are getting great results. They're now the only car still in the running for the victory and make no mistake in these difficult circumstances.
It's very easy to make mistakes. Once you go offline, you're in the slippery part of the track, and yeah, you can very, very easily put the car into the wall. So lots of respect to the guys out there. I mean, there's also quite a few amateurs who are not doing that as a job, and yeah, to keep that on track is pretty good.
The mechanics in charge of tyres have no time to waste. Julien, Marc, Jeremy, Jean-Pierre, Eric, Maxime, Louis and Laurent work under high pressure and tight deadlines throughout the 24 hours.
On fait les pressions par rapport à la température d'air et la température de piste qu'on peut avoir. Et par rapport à ça, l'ingénieur nous donne les pressions que lui veut. Et à partir de ça, on met en chauffe entre 1h30 et 2h, suivant ce que recherche le pilote. Et juste au dernier moment, c'est-à-dire quand le pilote rentre dans la pit lane, il nous confirme s'il veut des pneus neufs ou pas. Donc c'est un délai très court, en fait, bon, on est prêt, on est là et voilà.
Okay, Winky, box this lap for tyres and fuel. You're staying in the car, you're staying in the car.
The sun is rising slowly in Francorchamps with one unpleasant surprise. The track is bathed in a deep fog. Car number 1 is now in the top 20. Car number 2 stays close to the top spot depending on the refuelings of the rival cars, 2 BMWs, a Ferrari and a Mercedes.
We are P1, you are P1.
The sun now seems determined to shine on the end of the race. But although the WRT drivers maintain an incredible pace, they are having a hard time keeping up with their competitors who are widening the gap.
Okay, Lawrence, box this lap, we change to the right front, check fuel.
After a triple morning relay, Lorenz Vantour is still very bitter about his mistake.
Obviously it's very, very painful at the moment. There will be some sleepless nights in the future, but the only thing I can try to do of it is learn and not do that again in the future. I'm obviously very angry at myself and disappointed actually in myself because I know better than that. I've proven in the past that I've grown as an endurance driver and I knew those things. And for some reason I was just too focused on getting pure performance instead of looking at the global picture, and I knew it actually already before the experience, but just a bit stupid.
Spa is the most demanding track in the world, so it's a mix of many things together at the same time. But we are really pleased without doing mistakes to be here, and it's a big fight. And the BMW is just a bit better than you, Vanessa. Sorry.
The Mercedes row gives up in the early afternoon, so the Audi number 2 is now fighting against 2 BMW VDS. It's a bit of a deja vu.
That's the leader. The leader, Dirk Werner, is off the road. The leader has had a drama. Is that a spin or is something mechanical?
You are leading the race, but the car just behind you is P2. Car just behind you is P2.
He's been here, he's written the book. He knows precisely what the game is. Down they come towards La Source. He goes one way, he goes the other. Ortelli defends, but there's racing room on the inside, and now the BMW will make the move.
It's 1 p.m. when the number 46 car grabs the top spot, leaving very little hope for Audi to beat BMW.
Not just on pit stops, goes 46 then, so...
The victory now seems out of reach, but the new R8 of WRT and Phoenix seem poised for a great result, ready to snatch the 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 7th positions. But bad luck falls again upon car number 1.
I got a very hard upshift, 5 to 6. Here, temperature rising, 138. Ren, I just confirm it's the gearbox temperature you're seeing going up. Yeah, gearbox process.
The red car is back in the garage, but this time the gearbox needs changing. The mechanics do the job in just 30 minutes, about 7 minutes less than their previous record on the R8 LMS Ultra.
Well, basically, since the accident, the car hasn't been quite right, which is probably why we didn't show the pace that I think we could have had. But the guys struggled through it, and we've clawed our way back up into the top 10, which was quite an achievement in itself. And unfortunately now the gearbox is broken with just over an hour to go, so we've completed the 70%, so we'll try and get the car out and cross the line and be classified.
Okay, Nico, your pace is good, your pace is good. Gap to P3 is more than 1 minute.
After this incredible operation, which shows how the team keeps its fighting spirit in the hardest circumstances, car number 1 leaves again to fight against the other R8. BMW is headed towards a well-deserved victory. Lorenz van Tor has to watch how the rivals he beat last year are now going to beat him.
Years and years and years of disappointment. There's going to be an enormous celebration at Mark VDS Racing. The party is about to start as victory in the 2015 total 24 Hours of Spa goes to Nick Katzberg, Lucas Law and Marcus Paltela. Mark VDS Racing wins the Spa 24 Hours and wins in
Of course,
style.
WRT is not ready for a big celebration, but it's a real satisfaction to climb on the second step of the podium after such a difficult race. Just 1 week earlier, Vincent Voss and his crew may not have thought it possible.
To the line comes Nico Müller, behind is Nicky Tim for third, and then...
For Audi, this is a memorable edition of the total 24 Hours of Spa, with 4 R8 LMS crossing the final line in 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 11th position. And since 2011, WRT has seen at least one of its cars on the podium.
Well done, guys.
Dankeschön. Sie gibt uns immer schwere Arbeit.
At the end, I think, yes, we have 2 cars on the podium. Yes, we finished with all 4 new cars, which is a great achievement. Yes, we've been competitive, but at the end, the others have been a little bit stronger than us. And that's the difference in sports, and the best one should win. And we have to say, this day, we have not been the best ones.
On the podium, it is Romolo Libeshin, Director of Audi Customer Racing, who lifts the prestigious King's Cup, which rewards the brand with the best overall result at the total 24 Hours of Spa. BMW wins the race, but Audi's R8 LMS and LMS Ultra occupy some of the top spots in all categories. This King's Cup 2015 is well deserved for the brand. Once more, Audi has left a strong mark on the total 24 Hours of Spa.
Very happy. First 24 Hours of Spa for me, for the new R8 LMS as well, so very happy. Double podium for Audi Sport Custom Racing, so I think yeah, we can all be very pleased with that. Very proud of the guys at Biberach who did an amazing job, and thanks to them, thanks to all the spectators who came along, and it's been a great event, and I hope to be back soon.
I mean, at the end of the 24 hours, when you finish already the race, you're quite happy. You finish on the podium, you must be even more happy. I mean, we were expecting, I mean, we were always trying to win, but, well, since the start of the race, we know that we were not quick enough on the track and not quick enough in the box, so we had no reason to, I mean, to deserve to win. So, but it's the 6th podium in a row from WRT in the 24 Hours of Spa, and this is already a great achievement.